I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I'll make mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night.
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. We are inside my little tent garage here where I store my kayak, and I'm going to be showing you guys what's going on in essentially the heart and brains of the kayak. Because if you saw my build, my previous video, I showed you how from the other build I moved everything that was here into that box over there. So we're going to dive into my whole platform slash power box, call it. Yeah, let's call it that. We're going to call it a platform power box. So full disclosure, it is all wood, but it is flex sealed. It is silicone inside. I am working with someone on building a prototype, and it's going to be a pretty big prototype on something that can be this, but out of like plastic material. We're still working on that, so that might be in the works. I don't know about this year, but it's an idea. So anyways, call this my prototype, my first prototype. So anyways, essentially what it is, it's going to be a rectangular box made out of wood. And as you can see, I don't know if the camera catches it, there's a fraction of an inch off the actual kayak. Here it shows more. And basically this box is screwed onto the platform up here. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want the full weight of this like down the center of the kayak and on like basically on the hole. Instead, I have it resting on these 1-inch square tubes on top of the track, so I could still use the track just going through the tubing. And essentially it's holding onto the platform on top. And the length of the platform is just shy of 4 feet, because this is 4 feet. And the reason it's shy, because I wanted it to clear my battery box still, so it does clear. And it just has like a little bit of a lip, I don't know, about 2-3 inches here. So that's essentially what it is. I don't know if you can imagine that. I mean, showing you as best I could. Here, this has a little battery in it. This cable is just the charging cable, as you can see. So this is, I didn't show this in my last video of the walkthrough. And in the back of this is my plug-in here. I don't know if the camera can catch it. Let me see what I can. That plug-in and this plug-in. So this charges my 24 volt and this charges my system inside. And then here is going to be the breaker, which goes to the battery to power my trolling motor. So basically battery to trolling to breaker, breaker to trolling motor. And this is that little USB port for my GoPro. Well, we are going to get into this. I'm going to break this video up. I'm going to edit it, not just one straight video, and we're going to get into this. So bear with me. Let's transition in. Okay, so magic, right? Power of editing. So everything's off that's on the platform itself. Took off the little aluminum bar. Again, this is what it looks like, in case you want to take this idea. Let me see if I can even take it out of this. So it's just, you know, a little aluminum bar I had. You know, it's sturdier than just a flat bar. This has more strength. And seats off. What's called my black pack is off. And this is what it looks like. So again, this was the power supply to my graphs. Graphs aren't powered on, so that way it doesn't like trickle the battery out. This would be on, off. Again, my little nub here for was the whole pass through for the live scope transducer. So that's that. And then I made this hatch right under the seat. I gotta trim the carpet a little bit. So I'm actually, this is good. I had to do this anyways. And I'm gonna add another USB port, which is gonna connect to my battery here to power my GoPro that's gonna go in the front. So I have this in order to reach the fuses in case anything happens. I really don't suspect anything would ever happen, because all this was pretty much exposed to the elements underneath the plate I had here before, and nothing ever tripped or corroded. It was a slight corrosion, but it was not bad to the point of failure. And I did dielectric grease everything. So I'm going to show you what's inside, but I did want to show you what it looks like when I access the platform from the outside. So we're going to take this platform off and show you the box, how it's wired up inside. But this is what it would look like if I'm doing any type of maintenance or putting my battery in and out. So I have this little spot here for a battery with some Velcro. I don't know if the camera catches that. I think it does. I'm pointing to it. There's a Velcro there, and I have like a little 18 amp hour Bass Pro battery, tracker lithium, and that's only for my GoPro, which is going to be on the boomstick on that point right there. So let's do the power editing again, and just like that, it's open, guys. So here's the heart brain of the kayak. So I managed to put everything in here, and I don't know the dimensions off the top of my head, but I know it's like the width of the kayak here, and then about, I don't know, I want to say 45 inches in length. And this is what I've built, because I felt like this space underneath your seat was a little wasted. I kind of just tucked away stuff in there where I could have used the actual hatches that were meant for storage and all that. I guess it's really meant for whatever you want, right? So this is the way I went out. I made this box and decided to put a platform on top, which is the one over there. As you can see, I just like kind of flipped it open like a book. And this is what I would do if I were ever to do any maintenance, even though I do have the hatch for maintenance. Excuse me. So this is what we're looking at, guys. If you're an electrician, you kind of see what I did. It's a little messy. I try to clean it up as best as possible, but then again, this is all out of sight, out of mind. As long as no connections are touching, everything's greased up, and it makes sense to me. So here, let's see if I can explain it to you guys. 16 volt battery, 52 amp hour, Ionic, really good battery from Ionic. Highly recommend for your graphs. This powers me all day long. 2 large graphs and my live scope for like 8+ hours, and I only run it down to like 30-40% ever. So I could see it going for like 10 to 12 hours, around that ballpark, if you're, you know, putting your graphs to sleep and like traveling to spot. So really good battery. This is the 20 amp hour Ionic. They're both Bluetooth, so I can monitor them on my phone, which is really nice. They're both, you know, hooked up to their chargers, and those chargers are all hooked up to this little plug outlet. So again, as I showed you a little earlier, you plug that in to a power supply, you know, just a regular power supply, and they get charged overnight or wherever you are. So don't ever have to worry about carrying chargers with me or anything. I literally just plug and charge. So that's the 2 batteries, and then my 3rd battery that's not here is going to be velcroed on, just like from the bottom, just kind of put it in there, and that's going to be for my GoPros, and that is solely for my GoPros. And the reason I did that is because I noticed that my GoPro would shut off when too much amperage would be taken out from the power poles. So if they were working overtime, like trying to dig in or out of a spot, the amperage would be taken so much out of the battery that it would cause my GoPro to just glitch and restart. So that was an issue. I would lose a lot of footage that way. I would not even notice I wasn't recording. So I ended up going on its own power supply. So I got an 18 amp hour tracker lithium battery. Okay. And I mean, it's really tough to explain, but basically this powers my yak power here, which is over here, and then this goes to this, and from here I distribute to my graphs, which are all going through the yak attack pull through design. I forget what they're called, but you know, they go through the hole. And I got them all laid out here. So this is for my Yellow Tech nav light. These are for my actual power poles. This is the battery, the USB for my GoPro. And then this one is the power supply to my lights, which is in the hole over there. So I go out through there, go through the hole, under the hole, and hook up to the little supply thing over there. So that is it, guys. And then my black box, obviously, right, the live scope, which gets hooked up to the, you know, hole through design cable over there. So that is it. You obviously could pause the video and see what I did, but it's really not that difficult. It just looks difficult, it looks overwhelming, but it's really not. And everything has a breaker, and the breaker and the yak power is already like integrated. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I think I'll cut the video here. All I'm gonna do is, the reason I opened it up is, besides showing you guys, is I'm gonna add one more of these, probably up here for charging my phone, and maybe one more over there for the GoPro that's gonna go on the front. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to help you with your builds. So there you go.